Hey, oh, let me see. Hey, folks, what's going on? This is your man, Adolphus A.D. Moore. Oh, wow. It's Christmas. That's right. Hey, folks, hey, this is your man, Adolphus A.D. Moore in RG Stadium. Today, the Houston Texans didn't go down to defeat to the Baltimore Ravens. They got their behinds kicked today. It's been different, this thing going down 31-2. I wish that was a misprint. I wish that was editorial control I could use to manipulate it and make it different. But you know what? This is truth and justice here. This is you speak it, tell it like it is. Texans got the A's whooped up and down the field today. It's nothing else, nothing you can say about this one. There's no way that I can put some Chanel perfume on this rascal. I cannot put a nightgown on it and make it look any more what it is. This was a pig today. In fact, I tell you what, with the Houston Livestock Show Rodeo coming up, the livestock sales, it'd probably be some better looking pigs going on the market than what this contest was today. Texans did not show up at all. I'll just show you how bad it is as we get into the contest today. But first things first, Merry Christmas to each and every one of us. At the end of the day, and like I spoke to a few players off mic today, you know what? It's Christmas. Go home, enjoy your family, whatever. The day it's a game. I mean, that's your profession. Folks were disappointed. Halftime was outstanding. I don't know if those who got a chance to see Queen Bee today, but it was outstanding. I'm gonna say this right now. Kendrick Lamar, you better get ready for the Super Bowl because this was a Super Bowl type entertainment today at halftime for the Texans and the Ravens. You better bring your A game, young man, because Beyonce laid it on the line today, and it was an outstanding halftime show. And if you didn't get to see it, I was firsthand. The young lady, this Houston-born product, brought the house down and brought everything with it. And I'm still got some of the her song playing in my head. But we have to deal with the reality today. Your Houston Texans did not show up today, people. They didn't. Time of possessions and turnovers and penalties and penalty yards and 25 minutes to 35 minutes. Yeah, the time of possession. The Ravens, but the Ravens took their time of possession and they utilized. The first quarter was the Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson show. That was the first quarter. Derrick Henry had almost 100 yards in the first quarter. And I'm not exaggerating at all, folks. 10 carries, I think 83, 84 yards, something to the effect. So you probably, I'm sitting here searching for words because this is a family show. This is Christmas, and we want, I want to keep everything on an upbeat and everything. But tell you what, the Texans today, yeah, it's got me coughing. It's got me coughing bad because I don't know the other way you can say it. They got their rear ends kicked. Also, let me go ahead. Saquon Barkley, I had you as my number one as the MVP. MVP. You definitely be the top running back. Although Derrick Henry was gonna give you a run for your money if he has a couple more games, another game like he had today. Because to me, that when you jumped over that guy backwards, when you jumped and leaped over, backwards, to me that won you the MVP. That put you in the top running, and for the definitely top running back. Let me irritate some folks, and trust me, I've had a good time up in Buffalo with Bills Mania. Everybody's talking about is Josh Allen's MVP to lose. No, it ain't. No, Josh Allen's going to come beat Lamar Jackson because today Lamar Jackson proved I'm still the man. Now, Lamar Jackson needs to go win a Super Bowl. I understand it. But so does Josh Allen. Either one of those guys need to go. And so we're waiting on CJ to still make that next step. There's regressions going on with this young man this year. I think, I don't know if this is a sophomore swoon or what, but that's the situation where we stand right now. Let me let Coach Ryan, this is the question I put to him, and because at the time today that the Texans were down 10-0 and they had a chance to get back in this ball game, and opportunity, again, they let opportunities escape them.
Punting today, flip the field for you, put you in some reasonable position. Once you got down by 10, put you down there, and then you got the safety. But after that, it looked like this defense tried to bring you back in, but just wasn't enough for the rest of them to try to pull it out. What happened?
When we play all three phases of playing together, it's talk about playing complementary football. That's what needed to happen. Like special teams make a play, defense makes a play. And that's the spark that we need. And now, can we continue to ride that momentum and make plays, offensively and stay on the field? And that's where we just fell short today.
Coach said they fell short today. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I would say that. The Texans have had a problem scoring in the second half. They've had a problem scoring in the first half today. In fact, the Texans offense didn't score at all today. The scoring, as I alluded to earlier, really was the defense and the punter, Tommy Townsend. His longest punt today was 69 yards. He flipped the field a couple of times, although and I'm going to let, in fact, that's basically who I talked to today, because it's, I could have went and talked to Kamari Lazarus, but when you get beat like this, you looking for any nugget that you can sort of glean to try to say why, when, and what. And best thing, at least from my standpoint, from covering, excuse me, from covering this game as long as I have, and now, when I go back and I'm looking around and I'm going like, overall, when you just look at it, the Texans, it's the Houston Texans, it's not the Houston Texans offense, it's not the Houston Texans defense. I know you've heard me say this before. It's not the Houston Texans special team. However, between special teams and the defense today, they got 2 points out the deal. Texas overall defense didn't do enough to try to stop Derrick Henry. And let's face it, Lamar Jackson just and I've seen both of those teams on this field today at NRG. We saw the Buffalo Bills earlier this year in October. We saw Lamar Jackson for Christmas. Santa Claus left a lump of coal for the Texans because Lamar Jackson was sterling today. There's another way we can talk about this, folks. Right now, I want to just let to me, probably the bright shining spot for all the Houston Texans today was the punter today, and that's my editorial control over this, and I'm not, it's just that's being real.
When your exploits become like the highlights of the game, I guess it's pretty much tell you that the score is indicative that probably some of the best plays really came down in your punting today.
Yeah, I mean, we had a couple good punts, but you know, I had a bad touchback ball in the 43. I should have put the ball in the 5. I didn't do that. Hooked one left to the middle of the field, like a 38-yard punt. You know, I mean, so not good enough. I got to eliminate those punts. First one I hooked out of bounds, super short. I mean, a lot of things I got to improve on. I mean, big punts are good, but I mean, gotta fix those bad ones. You know.
Yep. Obviously, there's really not a whole lot. The score is indicative, but the thing about it, if your punts is the one that got it down inside the 5-yard line, you haven't got it there, then y'all don't even get a safety. You send up there with a goose egg. Something, even taking everything in consideration.
Yeah.
There was some execution. But the problem is the defense came back and you set them up. Defense got the safety, but y'all just couldn't seize the momentum.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one. I mean, sometimes you get games like this. I mean, I think it was it Kamari that got the safety?
Yeah, Kamari got the safety.
Yeah, he went and he made a great play, and he got him in the end zone, and I mean, hats off to him for going down and making a good play. I mean, I'm trying to back up the offense as much as I can every time I get out there, and
right.
Did it a couple times, but didn't do it on other times, so got to do it every.
Yeah. Tommy Thompson, Texas MVP today. 6 punts today, average 48.2. His longest was 69 yards. And he out of the 6, he put 3 inside the 20. In fact, 2 of them came inside the 5-yard line. Because that has to do with all the whole phases of special teams. But the Texans today, and a question was asked of Coach D'Amico Ryans, 3 games, 11 days, and D'Amico, to his credit, basically said that the other 4 teams that played today had the same schedule. They had to deal with what was it? Excuse me. Kansas City Chiefs today took on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Same schedule, because Baltimore had played them less than 4 days ago, and now here we are playing on Christmas Day. I guess the NFL is trying to compete with the NBA, because normally I normally call this when I started really paying more attention to the NBA. Although I got a chance to watch a little bit of the game this day between the San Antonio Spurs and the New York Knicks, where I found out that the Knicks won't pull that game out because Victor Wembanyama went crazy on the Knicks in the first half. But then, wait a minute, let me get back. I don't want to get too far afield on this pig today, on this Slaughterhouse 5 that the Texans put out there today. Texans have lost 6 ball games now. And up until this ball game today, I said that the Minnesota Vikings game was that game they really got their tails handed to them, and that was like the second ball game of the year. Here we are down to your next to the last ball game of the year, and there are some concerns from me about this team heading into the playoffs. Instead of the cream is not rising to the top. In fact, this for those of y'all that knows how to make butter and churn, this milk ain't churning. It's not becoming butter. I'm not sure what it's becoming, but it's darn sure not becoming butter, and it darn sure not buttermilk or whatever. This putrid display today that the Texans put out there in front of these fans. Thank goodness we had Beyonce at halftime, because by the middle of the third quarter, this stadium was pretty well empty. The only people that were still here was the ones that came dressed in the Baltimore Ravens dark colors and white color jersey, and they stayed here and showed up and showed out. Texas fan went on home, and those that hadn't had dinner or might have had Christmas dinner in the parking lot, they probably at home now having dinner around the fire and as family. So, folks, it's not a whole lot left to say about this game. There are issues with the Houston Texans now. C.J. Stroud and CJ has hit I thought he was getting beyond his sophomore slump, but I guess there is something to the fact. Post, however, with the problems they had on the offensive line at the beginning of the year, and even up until this point now, we thought that, man, okay, he could work himself out of them. But I'm seeing just a lot of things that mechanically he's not doing right. And this is not just me saying it. Talking to some former NFL players and that have played the position, but also I don't think he's not getting much help. Now, did he have receivers open today? Yeah, he had quite a few receivers open today. He just missed them, flat out missed them. He was high, ball was flailing on him. So, Texans have got to get this thing corrected. They got time off now between now and Monday when they come back in the building. And they got to come back with an earnest, with something self-evaluation, because they have to go to Tennessee, a team that has already on one of their that has already put, has already put a loss against the Houston Texans already. Now, don't you think the Tennessee Titans won't be rocking, ready to go to lay another butt whipping on the Houston Texans today? I mean, next week when they go to Nashville. I'm not sure. That game is supposed to be flexed. I wouldn't know why they would want to flex it because of where they are. Yeah, it's a playoff team coming in to play to play against a team that's already out of it. I don't even know, what Texans will start. Will they even start? Will the Texans even start to have their starters there? Be quite candid with you, with the amount of injuries that's on this team right now, I'm not sure who's going to wind up playing. CJ got relieved somewhere in about the middle of the fourth quarter, and Davis Mills came in because CJ did have to go out. They had called timeout. CJ got injured today, and he had to go out for a play. Joe Mixon, just whatever we thought that magic that the Texans offense was in possession of earlier this year, it's not there anymore. And there are several factors that you can allude to, you can talk about, but bottom line, the Texans are not playing good team football now. They're not. They had, I was in Kansas City this past week. They've had their opportunities. Of the 6 losses, 2 of them were butt cooking. This was, as I stated earlier, this game stinks worse than the Minnesota game, way worse than the Minnesota game. And because I'm be candid with you now, let me address this rumor. I did not see Lamar Jackson sitting out, in the tunnel watching Beyonce. Because reason being, they actually raised the windows to the press box, so we got a chance to actually hear and see what we were gonna see Beyonce, but we got to actually light the whole show production and everything, which was a outstanding production. But and trust me, I know the lights were out. I was looking around. I did not see Lamar Jackson at halftime watching Beyonce. Be quite candid with you, he could have sit there and done it, because at the time, by the time that the halftime came, the Baltimore Ravens were well in control of this ball game, and the second half proved it. They came out there and just took control, continued dominance over the Houston Texans, and that's the case. They basically laid the wood. I've stated it once. When the Texans played the Ravens up there in M&T Bank Stadium that January in the playoffs, and I said then, I don't expect to see a Texans team get beat like that again. And that was what the Ravens laid a butt whooping on them then. Lamar Jackson was running around, running all up in the tone, profiling and everything. And I stated then, that under D'Amico Ryan's team, I don't expect to see a team get beat like that again. Well, I was wrong. Baltimore Ravens treated this as M&T turned NRG Stadium into M&T Bank Stadium, and they came down here and said, not only did I do it up there, I'm gonna come into your house and I'm gonna show you exactly how this thing is done. Yeah, it wasn't a fluke last time. We kicked your behinds again, and they kicked it to the tune of 31-20. Folks, there's really nothing else you can say about it. And I'm not going to even really try to expound or go through my thesaurus of trying to equivocate what if or coulda woulda. There's no if or coulda woulda shoulda. Texans were lousy today, and as Coach Ryan said, the soul searching got to start with the man at the top. Includes him and everybody else and the man in the mirror. You say there's no more excuses. You ain't looking around schedules. What everybody got the same schedule. I could come up with a commentary talking about the NFL and player safety and how fast these guys got to turn around and play games. All the teams that played today had to work on the same schedule, had the same bill. Plus, the Baltimore Ravens had one less day to work because they had to travel yesterday. So Texans were at home. They were in their own beds. And you would have thought that they were the traveling team today. But it did not work out like that. So as we get ready to close, let me continue to wish each and every one of y'all a blessed rest of your Merry Christmas holiday season. Be careful out there. Watch your drinking and your driving. Be careful with around friends. Watch the little ones with the new toys and everything, folks. Let's try to keep it as safe as possible for all of us out there. I want to see those of us that the good Lord will allow see 2025 come in. If the good Lord is so willing, then I'll be looking to see you in 2025. But until then, this is your man, Adolphus A.D. Moore, signing out from NRG Stadium today as your Houston Texans got all the lining knocked out of their behinds today by a score of 31-2. That's right, 2. See, 2. It's almost like yes, look here. How old are you? I did me. Well, that's pretty well whatever. But you know what? Players stood up and took their medicine today from the media today, and there's nothing else to say. They didn't answer the call today. So next week season ends. We know the Texans will have one playoff game here. Not sure which team's gonna might show up here. My understanding we might see Jim Harbaugh back in this stadium maybe a year when he walked out of here this previous January from winning the national championship. Who knows? Maybe not. But anyway, this is your man Adolphus A.D. Moore signing off from top of NRG Stadium as today on this Christmas Day, the Houston Texans fall to the Baltimore Ravens 31-2. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm out. I've had a good time. Yeah, my throat is scratchy, but you know what? Maybe a little tonic will sort of help smooth the way. I'm going to go and enjoy my family and the rest of the folks. Continue to have a blessed rest of your Christmas, a blessed holiday season. Happy New Year, folks, and we'll talk next year. All right, I'm out.